What's up, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, yesterday I did a story about NBA player Ja Morant, and he's going through something right now under a lot of scrutiny. I scrutinized him in my video I did yesterday, and people are talking about him all in the sports world. National media companies are speaking about it. And it seems like a lot of people are piling up on the man. I ain't gonna say it's not deserving, but I will say this. Today, yesterday, it's been already established that the Memphis Grizzlies, who Ja Morant plays for, is going to issue a lengthy double-digit suspension going into next year. He's eliminated from all team activities. And I think, honestly, they're fed up. And you can't blame nobody but yourself, young man. And I want to talk a little bit about some stuff. I mean, I named some offenses that he did yesterday that led up to him getting in trouble. And some stuff I left out. And I don't want to go back into it today, but I do want to say something. He missed out on $40 million, right? Because he failed to make the All-Star team. Now, based on ability, he has the ability to do that. He's a famous player. A lot of the NBA voting for the All-Star game is popularity based. He's a very popular person. And he lost $40 million because he failed to make the team. I think part of it personally, and that's the reason why I made this video, part of it personally is the disfavor out there for some of his antics. And it cost him $40 million. And that's just my opinion. You got to understand something. And he would know this. A lot of us know this. In the sports world, you could be way up here one day. Something can come out, whether it's false or not. It could be an allegation between you and somebody else, a scandal with a man or a woman nowadays, and you could be from the highest high to the lowest low. It's a very fine line that athletes walk nowadays. They're constantly being targets of false allegations, and they're constantly being pulled and pushed from different directions from people that want something from them, whether it's just to be in their presence and ride their coattails, or somebody that wants something financial. Being an athlete is not an easy job, folks, and a lot of us want to do it. Now, I looked at was it WREG, and it was showing that people, having the fans' reaction to a suspension. And I give the city of Memphis credit, man. They try to stay behind, their heroes. And he is a hero in the city of Memphis to a lot of young men, young ladies, and those who play sports. And just he's a feel-good story for the city of Memphis. And that's the biggest problem I have with him personally. Now, I don't know the man. He's a 23-year-old kid. But I do know this. There's such thing as common sense. The city's riding with you after all the BS that you've done. There's no excuse for this. There's no excuse. Yeah, you can have friends, you can hang with friends that you know in your whole life or whatever, but this is a perfect example of the company we keep affects us. I heard Ray Lewis say one time in a quote that somebody told him. He said, "You show me your friends and I'll show you your future." If this right here ain't that in motion, we see it. I don't know who he hang around, but I don't think they're good for him. I think a lot of the family members that are around him mean him no good. And it's just me, because I mean, it seems like he's just, as a player, he's doing well, but socially, it's like he's forced to take on this persona or it's like pressure outside of basketball. I think a lot of the stuff that's going on with him is outside of basketball. It's bigger than basketball. A lot of times people act out when they are under extreme pressure. Now, I don't know his situation. The dancing with the gun and stuff, he might be a fan of rap music and all that stuff, and that's okay. But you still have to be cognizant of all of your moves, all of the money you make. People are going to scrutinize you. Hey, I got in trouble the last time like this. I won't get in trouble again like this. If you did get in trouble, it'd be something else. But it's like this is a reoccurring thing. And I'm telling you, the Memphis Grizzlies is a business, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of players, when they show them special treatment or they've started a team, people think they're untouchable. And they be like, oh, they won't get rid of me, or I'm this, I'm that. Sometimes you've seen it. Coaches battle with players. The coach wound up getting out of there because the NBA is like that. Other sports are different. They'll get rid of the player before they get rid of the coach. But in the NBA, the players got a lot of pull. But my thing is this. The company he keep, they're not basketball players like that. They just common, regular folk that's friends with him, benefit from him. And I know he's an unselfish person because he's breaking bread with those he loves and those he thinks helped him get to where he is, whether it's positive or negative. But feeding into that positive of what they're doing, when you have to be negative, and feeding into the negative that those around you are succumbing to it, when you're supposed to be doing positive things to get you to a certain plateau that they can't go with you. That's the thing. You can't take everybody with you where you go. You have your own legacy. As men, we have our own legacy. History does not remember faces. It only remembers names. You don't want this stain on your name, Job. For real. You can wind up being a Hall of Famer someday. And for your induction, before you can get inducted, they keep passing you over because of your lengthy track record of negative stuff that you're doing. Here's another thing. This type of behavior, as asinine, as childish as it is, he might see it as harmless. Oh, I ain't really like that. I'm just doing that. The world don't know you like that. But the world only see what you promote. And when you do stuff like that, you prove to everybody else that they was right about us as folks. We're violent, can't be trusted, and when we get money, we act a fool. That's the problem I had. That's the first thing. The company that you keep. Gotta watch who you're around. And the thing is this, he has a place and he have all these people. His circle too big. You got to keep a small circle. Seriously, you got to keep a small circle because if something ever happened and you get something missing or somebody try to do something to you, you'll never know who it was because the circle too big. I'm sure there's a lot of people that know where you live that mean you no good. And if you try to turn around and get rid of them, sometimes it makes you a target. And that's the thing. A lot of these guys surround themselves with people, and when it's time, when they finally bump their head and grow up and want to cut ties with these people, now they become targets because the people don't like them and never liked them anyway. They only like what they did for them. Here's another thing. More choices don't come with your age in your profession. The older you get, the less choices you have because your body starts to wear down. And it's like, you're young and in your prime and you're doing all of this crazy stuff. People will use you till they use you up. Then when you up older in age, the money that you're making right now ain't going to always be here. You got to be cognizant of that. Opportunity. And this is in the workforce too. When I was younger, I was making big money jobs because I had good character and all this stuff. I thought it was going to always be like that. I quit a job like nothing because I knew I could get another one or thought I could. Till you get a little older and then you realize, okay, this ain't going to last. He hasn't got to that point yet. But just because you're a basketball player don't mean you're going to have the same skills. It could take one injury to take you out. And this contract you got might be the last one you ever get. Think about that. You're going to have an off season. What you do in your off season is your business, but you got to remember the world is watching you. You're a celebrity, a sports celebrity. Another thing is you got to look at your legacy after basketball. Like I brought up the Hall of Fame. If he ever made the Hall of Fame, or if he was, good enough, his career, once his career is over. After your career is over, what are you going to do with yourself? We see it a lot of times, guys. A lot of these sports athletes go to a life of crime when they get out and they're not in the limelight no more. And they're not who they used to be. You're who you used to be by name. But I mean, after age and all that stuff, you reflect back like, damn, I shouldn't have hung with this person. Or I shouldn't have spent that on that. Or I shouldn't. You see it all the time. Athletes with an entourage spending all kind of money on them, buying stuff on them. Allen Iverson, a perfect example of that. You got to watch yourself. For real, you got to watch yourself. Everything that's going on right now will come to pass. Just put your head down and grind. I think he lost that $40 million because he wasn't focused. On the court he's focused, but off the court, too many distractions. And this is just a tale of, this can happen to anybody. And this happens to a lot of us that don't play sports. We have good jobs. Have somebody in our corner that ain't right for us. Take us off of our square to where we need to be focused. And a lot of times, opportunities that could be afforded to us, we don't see because we're too busy distracted dealing with somebody behind us that ain't even on the same level as us, but we try to hold on to them and keep them because we feel as though we owe them something because they're our friend, our lover, or what have you. This is a learning experience. I hope he gets out of this. And I hope all this scrutiny that's on him is enough to make him be like, look, I don't want to be looked at like this. City of Memphis, love you, bro. And people around the nation. And they pulling for you. Always remember that. You playing basketball is not just about you. It's about the dreams and hopes of other people. There are kids out here right now watching you on YouTube and stuff and trying to copy your moves and be just like you, like they was trying to be just like Mike. And that's the thing that's amazing. Just seeing somebody or looking up to somebody can change your life to where you want to be like them or better than them. And that's one of the greatest things about living in this country. Listen, I'm Stock Market Steve. Guys, leave me a comment. Sorry, I stumbled over my words. I ate early. I keep burping. I'm sorry. But I hope he does better. You know what I mean? And this is going to be a talking point all over the summer until they get back into it. And then into that, and I hope he's strong-minded and he don't get no more trouble before we get to this point. I mean, before he comes back on the court. But I hope he learns from it. Just humble yourself, man. Watch who you're around and stay off social media. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.